I have a confession to make. There have been times when I have experienced that heart-stopping moment when I realized I have forgot something crucial on set. Today I want to share my strategies and the systems I have developed for film production preparations to ensure that that never happens to you. To fully cover film production preparations, we need to cover the importance of pre-production planning. And the core of pre-production is the script. The script can be seen as a contract between yourself, if you have a team, but also your client. It is what will give a clear understanding on the planning you need to do, as well as the boundaries of what we want to produce. We also often combine the script with the storyboard. We then break down the script into individual scenes. That way we have a much better overview of what we need to plan for gear as well as shooting days. And then we break the scenes down into shot lists, shot planning. And that shot list will have an immediate effect on your gear list. The pre-production wouldn't be complete without location scouting. So you should always try to do some location scouting, because location is equally important to tell the right story set by your script. I always do location scouting, even if it's for a half a day corporate interview shooting. But then I just ask my client to take a few photos with their phone on the location if it's going to shoot at the customer site. That way I get the visual representation ahead of time so I can do proper planning. So in pre-production we need a script, we need some scenes, we need a shot list, and don't skip out on location scouting. So if you can't be there yourself, just ensure that someone takes a few photos with their phone and send them to you, or even make a little bit of a video. You will thank me later. It is impossible to cover production preparations without covering gear preparations. And film production can be very gear intensive, and the more gear you have, the easier it is to forget something without a good system. I think a gear checklist is needed to ensure that we bring the proper gear to set as well as bringing it back. So a gear checklist, really good. I don't use your typical checklist, but I have my version of checklist, and I like to have a visual representation of my gear. And what I mean with that is I will outline all my gear on either my production cart or on the floor, depending on how much gear I need for that specific assignment. Then I can just take a visual snapshot, and it's so much quicker to ensure that I have everything needed. Outline everything before you start to stow it away in specific bags or cases. My last tip is also to pack gear that belongs to each other in the same bag or same case. And what I mean with that is that, for example, I always pack my HDMI cable and the power cable alongside my camera monitor. I do the same thing for my camera rig. I have this custom hard case with cutouts for all the pieces I include in my custom camera rig. That way I ensure that I bring everything back and forth on set days. This next part might surprise you a little, but I feel that script or gear isn't the most important to ensure that we have a successful production. So for me, one of the most important aspects, and one that's really close to my heart, is client communications and setting mutual expectations. It is equally important for you to fully understand your client's expectations on you and the production as it is for the client to understand yours. It can be as simple as, for example, you have booked your client for a 1-hour interview session, and your client spends 40 minutes of those 60 minutes in the phone or going back and forth from the conference room where you're doing the interview. It's unacceptable. So I often have a initial call with my clients where I set goals, where I speak about their desired result of the production, and I also ensure that I know their expectations on me and they understand my expectations for them. The only way you can truly exceed your client's expectations is to know your client's expectations. I always think that client communication should involve regular check-ins and feedback rounds, as well as managing client revisions. But I mean, that also depends a little bit on how large the productions are, and that will definitely be covered with mutual expectations. I'm a strong believer of systems because a system gives us the opportunity to optimize our progress. It can mean that we want to be more efficient, that we want to have better margins, or to be happier, or maybe a combination of all of them. So a system helps us to maintain and track our progress. My creative system includes time blocking and schedule techniques. I try to write scripts on a specific day. I ensure that if I want to write the script, I turn off my phone, I set a timer for an hour, so I sort of force myself into the possibility to be creative without interruptions. I work a lot with corporate assignments, and I love corporate assignments. I love corporate interviews because I get to meet people and I get to share people's experiences. But it's kind of hard to do a very creative corporate interview. So I try to do creative exercises. It could be anything from shooting a fun TikTok or reel to recreate my favorite scene from my favorite movie. Basically anything that sort of occupies my creativity as well as pushing the boundaries of my knowledge. I also try to always maintain and update an inspiration library. It can be anything from saving YouTube videos into playlists to take snapshots to favorite TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff like that. But we live in a creative world and there are so many people that are so much more talented than myself. So I try to be inspired by others that inspire me. It's called pre-production for a reason. Pre and post-production, and in the middle we have production. It's just not called production. And the reason for that, of course, is that we need to focus prior to our production as well as after our production. And in that pre-production planning, that film production planning, we have the importance of getting a good script together, getting scenes and getting shot lists and storyboards. And we also understand that we need a system. That system will help us stay focused on the creative process and help us optimize our progress moving forward to work from our mistakes with continuous improvements, the agile approach to film production. And to truly exceed our clients' expectations and exceed our own expectations, they need to be known. So mutual expectations from our clients and us is a true recipe for success and become good at film production preparations. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.